Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour podcast.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 233. Happy Mischief Night. That's when we're recording this, so by the time you listen to this, hope you had a good Halloween. And we're going to have us a good night tonight because for the first time in ages, we have a guest. We're finally getting more settled again, and she is a returning guest. She comes to us from Yacht Club Games. She is the one and only Celia Schilling. Celia, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me back.
No, it's great to have you back, and we definitely enjoyed hanging out with you last time. So how the hell have you been, and what's been going on with you?
Oh wow, a lot. Things have been great. When was the last time that we hung out? Was it Pocket Dungeons?
Right before
Cyber
Pocket
Shadows?
Dungeon. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so much has happened since then. We released the base game. We announced Mina the Hollower, our new game in development. We released a DLC pack for Pocket Dungeon. We released a Shovel Knight Dig. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
So you guys been a little bit busy, right?
Yeah, just a tad, you know, huge.
Doing a crossover with Idol Slayer, so you got that going on.
We're doing that. We'll be talking about that more next month. I'm so excited for the crossover. We've been working really closely with their team for it to come out, and it's looking so cool. They're really talented folks over there.
I love the crossover stuff. I saw that, and then you also had the did the Paradox pack already come out, or
so for the Paradox pack, it's currently in early preview on Steam. So it's still currently in development. And like what we did for the first DLC pack, we opened it up to the community because making a balanced game that big and that fun is hard, and we acknowledge that. So we're like, okay, community, check it out, see what you like, see what you don't like. If you find some bugs, please let us know. And like, let's have some fun with it. So when it comes out in retail, like it's the best possible version that it should be. And the cool thing about the Paradox pack, besides having like new hat modifiers, new playable characters, new levels, also my cat's in the game. That's really cool. We also have mod support for PC, which is really cool. Yeah. I actually showed it off at Indie Land with Gerard the Completionist yesterday. I did a surprise where I, with the help of the Pocket Dungeon team, because I needed a lot of help with it, I made an Indie Land version of Pocket Dungeon. And for all the parts that the Pocket Dungeon team did not paint over for me, it was horrible, but it was fun. And it was really funny because on Friday before, I showed it to Gerard and all that, like I showed the team really quickly. I'm like, yeah, and I made a mod. It's really cool. Bye. And they're like, wait, what?
And then you're like, finish it. Do that thing you do.
Yeah.
And I was like, real cool. It's really awesome. Thanks, guys. Bye. And it's going to be shown to thousands of people and recorded forever. But yeah, that was really fun. So I'm really excited to see what the community makes as well for mods.
Yeah. So this past year or so, I mean, man, how many conventions and things have you been to?
A lot. Yeah, we were at the most recent one I went to was actually Tokyo Game Show. So yeah, I just got back from Japan like 2 weeks ago, which was really fun.
Shit.
Almost 3 weeks ago. But yeah, so that was really, really fun. But I also was at PAX West, which was really cool. We showed off Mina there, primarily like with a few media partners, just to kind of like give a little taste of what's to come for Mina. We're really excited to show the public more as we get further in development.
Well,
I'm actually sorry to cut you off, Brian.
No, go ahead, Jim.
I just want to say I'm like super pumped for Mina, and not just because you're the guest on the show, but like a year and a half ago, I finally played Link's Awakening for the first time, and when I saw like the previews for Mina, I was like, ooh, it's doing the thing, it's doing all the things, and I was just like, yep, this is right up my alley.
Yeah, I besides working for the company, same. Every time the team shows me a new level, and like we'll do like game playing time where like, besides the core dev team, like we'll all start playing it and like kind of like people see how consumers would play the game, or the target demographic, I guess. And it's so much fun, and I get sad when they take the controller away from me, and having that emotional response while at work is really funny because I'm like, no, why are you getting in the way of me gaming at my gaming job?
Yeah.
And it's gonna be so worth the wait. But like besides having the aspect of it, like having being reminiscent of like the Game Boy Color and Link's Awakening, because it feels so good. It also is kind of like a top-down Castlevania mixed with Bloodborne. So when you're playing the game and you're attacking enemies, you're gonna want to dodge or you're gonna have a bad time. And like a lot of mechanics, like as you go through combat, that's how you gain your health back, much like Bloodborne. So there's a lot of those things to keep in mind while you're enjoying the adorable graphics.
No, I love that. And yeah, to Jim's point, I saw that and I was like, ooh. I mean, obviously, we already know what you guys put out is always quality. But like, I guess that's my question. You guys, Shovel Knight has been such a flagship. And then you have this. Is like, did it spark so much like, I hate to use the word new energy, but it's like, oh, this is like a new thing you're pursuing. Like, how does that excite you guys, and then how do you juggle that with still maintaining everything you're doing with all the Shovel Knight work?
So it's kind of like one of those things where like gaming as a whole and like it's the different like aesthetics, keeping things fresh, it's kind of like having kids. You don't have a favorite because you love all of them. And it's kind of those things as well where it's like, Mina, we're really excited because we have a lot of really cool ideas. Like Mina has a lot of horror themes. It's a lot darker and like morally gray in comparison to Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's very like, he's the titular hero and he's like, for justice, shovel justice. Mina's like, a lot of things, without giving spoilers, happen in Mina. That's like, oh my god. So it's been really fun to explore that and see what creative ways that we could do that. And it's refreshing, but we love all types of gaming. So it's kind of, I guess, going into our core pillar. We don't want to just make games that you love. We want to make games that make you love gaming. So I guess it's exciting in that way, where we can explore another thing that we love for the gaming genre.
No, I love that. And speaking of things we love, I know you're not the biggest beer drinker, but what are you having with us tonight?
A Waterloo sparkling water. It's
because I saw the can. I did see the can, and I went, all right, I'm not sure what she has. I was like, I don't know what that is. I always try to just see the labels real quick. I was like, I don't know if that's a seltzer, if that's a beer, if that's a cider, or just sparkling water.
Go hydration, yay. One day, you guys will interview me on a Friday or a Saturday. And those are like the days that I'm like down to drink. But like tomorrow, like we have some things planned. You'll know, check our Twitter tomorrow. And yeah, like, so I have to be alert and functioning.
I mean, you don't want to be degenerates like us who just, I have to get up at 6 tomorrow to drop the car off. So it's like, it's going to suck, but you just deal with it.
Yeah. After so many years, we've gotten used to going in and work on Tuesday and being like, here we go.
Yeah.
One day when I'll be as cool as you guys.
Maybe there's a way to change that. I can't think of one.
I cannot think of one at all.
Chambers, what about you? What do you got tonight?
Well, Brian, considering that tomorrow is Halloween, I tried to find the most candy-like beer that I had. So, from the Dewclaw Brewing Company out of Baltimore, Maryland, it is their Sweet Baby Jesus Chocolate Peanut Butter Porter. So, this is like one... Wasn't this like one we had real early on as like one of the like first like flavored craft beers we're really excited for? Like,
yeah, that was like 2013, 2014. That was a long, long time ago.
Yeah, it's been around for a long ass time, but I guess it's popular enough because it's, still in all their mix packs and everything like that. 6.2% alcohol. Brian, if I may, this is a classic porter with heavenly aromas and flavors of roasted malt, chocolate, and rich peanut butter with a smooth, dry finish. One sip and you will exclaim the name.
I hate you, Jim. I hate you so goddamn much.
I love torture, Brian. Don't mind me.
But here's the deal. You said it's chocolate peanut butter, so that's actually perfect for Halloween season because as we learned doing drunk trivia during our Halloween party, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the most popular candy in the United States at Halloween time. So I like that fact because I thought it was going to be some goofy shit that nobody likes. And I was like, ooh, okay, that's one I think most people would agree on.
What would be the goofy thing that no one likes? Just wondering.
I said
Jim's
Mounds.
answer. No, you said Almond Joys.
Oh, same thing, basically.
Almond Joys are delicious.
They are not the best ever.
They're not the best ever. I never said that, but they are delicious. I was expecting to say like Heath bars or something.
Some stupid, like I look at those the same way I look at what are those? I'm completely drawing a blank, but like yeah, I'm completely drawing a. But Heath
What,
Bard's
like peanut chews or
something like that? Yeah,
Payday?
that's like paydays or peanut.
hey,
chews.
paydays are
Those-
awesome. What? Don't.
No, you
Hey,
attacked
goddamn
Almond
dare.
Joy. I know. That was the
Now, did
first
you always
attack.
like Almond Joy, or was that like a thing you liked once you grew up? Because I hated them as a kid. Now I love them.
I like Almond Joys.
Always. So are you?
The thing
So
is-
you're a big coconut fan?
Okay, yes, and also, so I'm like mildly allergic to almonds. Like after I eat 3 of them, like I start getting itchy, like I don't start feeling good. But Almond Joys have 2 almonds, so it's like the sweet nectar that like forbidden fruit. I don't know. So they were like the I don't know how to describe it, but like they were the forbidden candy that I like.
So you could just do like one fun size one. You're like, I'm living dangerous tonight.
Oh yeah, man, I'm dancing that line. Like if I eat 3 of them, I don't have to go to school the next day. It sounds cool.
That, I mean, just the fact that you started that sentence with, I'm partially allergic to almonds, and I'm like, wait a second, that something's not making sense there. No, but like those things like peanut chews and those ones, it's like, yeah, if nothing's else left, of course I'll have them. But no one ever goes, you know what I haven't had in a while? Those. Same way I feel about Peeps. The same way I feel about like a lot of certain candies. Don't tell me you like Peeps too.
I love Peeps, but like it's like they only taste good stale. So you have to leave them out for like.
Is that just
a
what
little
every
while.
woman says? Why do you all like them stale?
That's
I
your
don't know.
wife, Jim.
It's like the texture. It's I don't know.
Now,
It's like-
now she has backup.
It's like no, it's great. You gotta wait. It's the waiting game because you can't wait too long because like then it's gross. But like it's like a day and a half. Like that's the sweet Peeps spot.
So where do you stand on candy corn?
I like candy corn.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Because you
one.
got to eat it in sections, though. If you're a monster, you just pop it. Like there's something
Yeah.
wrong with you.
No, you gotta do 3 bites, even though it
Yeah.
looks ridiculous. And
Little
the
nib with
third
me.
one is like a little nub, and you're like, "What am I doing with this?" But yeah,
Like a little
No, I
squirrel.
agree.
Just,
That's me. I do 10
Yeah.
at a time.
oh
Jim's just
man,
dumping the bag. He's like, "Fuck this."
just dropping it like completely.
No, I like it, Jim. I like that you're sticking with the Halloween theme. And yeah, Jim, you actually did mention it was Mischief Night. I did tell the wife that one of these years we're going to convince your wife to give us your keys, and I'm going to put some shit in your car. I'm just prefacing it now so you know. I was going to toilet paper your house, but I was like, I could see you like trying to get it out of your tree and you fall or something, and then I'd feel bad. So
That is probably how it would go down.
Fill his car with Peeps. By the time he'll find them, they'll be stale, and his wife will be happy.
oh, I
Just
like
throwing it out
that.
there.
Yeah, that's a double win. She's happy, he's mad. You know what, Jim? You can thank Celia for that.
Wait, what's new there?
But no, I am sticking with the Halloween theme as well. Chambers, you had one of these when you were over, but it's the Mason Owlworks Dankenstein's Monster with amazing can art. This is one of those ones where I was about to pass it. There was all these awesome cans. And of course, going on the Frankenstein. When companies take time to put art on their can the way these do, I don't care how it tastes. I want to pay for it. I want to buy it. And luckily, this one is delicious. It's a unfiltered double IPA, 10%. And yeah, no goofy write-up like you had, Jim. Just a good goddamn beer. So if you guys ever get a chance to try it, I would highly suggest it. Perfect for this time of year.
So I noticed that you guys mentioned the alcohol percentage. So I feel like for my Waterloo, so it's 0 calories,
Ooh, okay.
0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 fiber, and 0 protein. In case anyone was wondering,
I want to know the sodium and pH levels of this.
I can test it and get it back to you from the labs in a week and a half.
I don't think I've ever even heard of Waterloo. Have you ever seen those around here, Jim?
Nah, that's got to be some West Coast stuff.
It
Yeah.
probably is. Like it's like in Sprouts. Do you guys have Sprouts?
No.
No.
I was going to say, like, the only thing I have around me is literally the boring ass LaCroix.
It's the same thing repackaged. Just
Oh,
Same.
okay. All right. Do you prefer it over LaCroix?
no, they're cheaper than LaCroix. So I
Okay,
go for
there
these
you go.
guys.
No, that,
Oh, but
yeah, we don't have those.
full disclosure, this is stolen from the Outclub Games office. Whenever I go in, because I usually work from home, but like I always have the option to work in office. But when I do, I'll like load up a bag of like snacks that they have and like the sparkling waters and all that. So
I mean, you gotta, since you're mostly work from home, that's your share, right?
Yeah, like I offset it, and like it's funny because I'll be doing it all sneaky, like, and then like Shannon, she's like our operations manager, is like, oh, do you want a bigger bag? And I'm like, you can't just help me. That takes the thrill away for like out of it. Like I don't know.
She's showing up in a utility van, packing up the pallets.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we now know that you only enjoy things when you're living dangerously, like your almond joys, like you're stealing snacks. I get it.
Oh no, it's a pattern.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. I see what you're doing.
I'm kidding.
She's like, I don't play games with save states anymore. I don't save anymore. I just play, and if I lose, that's how you live dangerously.
There's for sure a dark side that no one on the internet will ever see.
Of course. Yeah. You can't show them everything, Jim. Come on. But Celia, I guess that is my next question. I know with everything you guys are doing, do you have time to even like enjoy gaming at home? Or are you just always filled with
I do. It's funny because like I get off like my long day of talking about games, and I just go play more video games. So right now, I'm kind of in this weird spot where I'm binge playing like a shit ton of games. Reason being is that I got the PlayStation, the expensive PlayStation subscription. I know, don't judge me.
Oh, okay.
For 3 months, and I'm doing this thing. How do I describe this? Okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent. There's a point. It will loop back. When you go to a buffet and it's like, I don't really want to pay that much, so I have to make it worth it. So you eat your body weight in like anything you find in those little trays.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing with PlayStation Plus right now. So I am like binge playing a bunch of games that I wouldn't normally play. So I'm just like absorbing content. So like right now I'm playing The World Ends With You, the second one technically, because the original was on the DS. So I'm doing that. I beat Unpacking. I played It Takes Two. Also played, there's like a bunch of other ones that I'm like not remembering right now, but like I've been like, Sea of Stars, yeah, heck yeah, got my money's worth immediately. Amazing game, by the way, if you haven't played it yet, but I assume you guys have.
No, but I know we know.
So I'm
about
just like
it,
playing as much
as you can.
Yeah.
Cram it in there.
Yeah,
Now the question is,
I'm not a JRPG guy, so I'm just like, yeah.
Well, I guess my question is, are you trying to make sure you get in everything in those 3 months, or like because you definitely want to cancel it, or do you think there's a chance now that you're seeing a library that
okay, so what I'm telling myself is I'm gonna have this 3 months and I'm gonna play everything I want, and then like later, nerds, just kidding, PlayStation, I love you, we're fast, and just kind of live my life. But like we'll see. Like I feel like the PlayStation Plus catalog is kind of like a sleeper catalog because so many people like talk so much about Game Pass, and so I know all the games that are coming to Game Pass are already on Game Pass or left Game Pass or blah 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 Game Pass. But I actually wasn't aware of like how vast the library is for PlayStations, surprisingly enough. So like I'm having a lot of fun. So we'll see. Like I might extend it, but like I'm also not with any subscription service. Like I actually use it. Like I don't just pay for things and then like forget about it. So it's like if I have it, then I have to use it. That's my role.
Jim's like, I'm still somehow paying for WWE Network. And
It's pretty good beer, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're just vibing. It's fine.
No, you are absolutely correct, though. I did pay for before it converted to like whenever, what was that, 6 months ago or so, when they switched the way their subscription was. I did love they had some sleeper PS1, PS2 titles, even like some of their PS3 that I grew up mostly doing Xbox because all of our friends did Xbox. Jim and I have talked about many times. PS3 was a purchase mostly because I needed a good Blu-ray player and they had good games. PS4 was legit, some good games, and PS5 I got that because I could get that before the Xbox Series X. But I've always said they have a great catalog. It's just, it's kind of buried under what Game Pass offers, and it is apples to oranges. But no, I think it's worth it. And to your point, if you get 3 months of great games out of it, like you just named some games that, what was it? It Takes Two, so that was Game of the Year to 1 year. Unpacking was in there, like so.
Unpacking
games. That's one of those games that I said after having beaten Power Wash Simulator, and I said, who the hell would ever want to do these kind of games? Unpacking is a game I could totally understand where you're like, yeah, you just kind of turn your brain off and you go through it, and it's relaxing.
Yeah, it was literally like a have a glass of wine and play. That it was a Friday night. So, but one thing just about unpacking, I just loved how it told a story without you like figuring that out immediately. Because like, you know, like you see the first room and I'm like, oh, it's just a silly little unpacking game. And it's like, oh, like one thing was like, oh, she has a dreidel. I'm like, that's sick. And I'm like, wait, she's Jewish. Like most non-Jews don't have dreidels. So like my brain was like, oh, like initially I just saw that as normal, but I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then like slowly as I unpacked stuff, I started getting more invested in her life because I'm nosy like that. And it was just fun. I love that.
So did you get caught like all the Zoomers did on the GameCube and think it was a toaster? Like, how do I beat this level? This game's impossible.
That's so funny. Yeah, it was a GameCube, but like it's...
There was one of those, I call them the walking sim games, but I forget the name of it. I think it's Life is Strange. So that was a game, same deal. I was like, all right, I heard it, you can beat it in like an hour. But I went through and I actually found a weird room, I guess a spoiler, where it's like, there was some weird occult shit going on, like, and it was hidden. And I was like, oh, like that sparked my interest, like being the horror guy. So I love that, like when you take these little turns in games like that and you really explore the story, and they don't force feed all of it to you, but it leaves you enough to like, you can imagine some stuff. But like you said, it drops hints of like, what is their life like? What's going on? So that's interesting.
Life is Strange might be a different game because that game's 40 hours. So just pointing out.
Then what is the game? It's literally you're in a house, you're finding notes, and oh my god, it's killing me. I don't remember the name. It's not Edith Finch either.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
No, it's like you're walking through a house, you come home and you're finding notes about your sister, and she's like planned something. Like I don't.
Oh, I know what one you're talking about. I can't remember it.
What's it called? Okay, figure it out. DM me on Twitter. Or X, or whatever we call it. Because I want to play that. I love those kind of games.
I definitely will, yeah.
Yeah, because you're talking and I was like, that's not Life is Strange. Because I'm like, I invested way too long of my life in that game.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely message you. But it was a game like that where I was like, I'm not going to be into this. I just want to get through it to see, because it was on the catalog. And then I kind of got hooked into it. So yeah, I appreciate that feeling. But so that's your kind of goal right now. Stick with the PlayStation for now.
Yeah.
Get through these 3 months. See if you want to keep it.
Yeah. Like eventually, like, okay, so I want to get Game Pass eventually. And I know there's Game Pass PC, but I eventually plan to win an Xbox. And have we gone over this? Okay.
No, so but I like this idea. Win.
Whenever people hear that, they're like, Celia, like, that sounds really freaking stupid. Until they hear, I won my Super Nintendo. I won my Nintendo 64. I won my PlayStation 4. Like, I won my Nintendo Switch. So, guys, who's laughing now? I've won a lot of my consoles.
Where are you winning all these?
I am a contest person, so I'm a sweepstaker. So I'll just enter contests randomly. Last year I wanted tickets to the X Games, but it was too close to like when I'd have to fly to Colorado, so I wasn't gonna do it. So I just gave it away to a friend who like lived in Colorado. But yeah, no, I am a sweepstaker, and that's what I do. So eventually I will win an Xbox, and at that point I will get Game Pass. But until then, PlayStation Plus.
I am going to side-eye every goddamn random account now that will tag me in these giveaways. And I'd be like,
Why, Celia? Keep winning.
I know there's an alt out there where she just
no,
spamming the shit
you have
out
to
of
do from main, because if they're not using... Okay, so if they're using like a contest thing like Gleam, don't even bother. That's a 1 in a million. Like, I mean, enter it still, but like, don't bother.
Yeah, I've tried
But if it's like, we'll randomly pick at a certain time, I'm like, they are stalking the people and seeing like whose profiles are legit and like who genuinely would like this. And those are the contests that you want to enter. So that's my pro tip. I'm not random. I'm strategic. That's how you.
I mean, you just named some huge wins. So yeah, I'm not gonna bet against you. I think given enough time, you'll probably win an Xbox.
I think so too. One day.
It's just a principle to matter at this point.
I know, honestly, it has to be.
I respect it. Now, Chambers, what about you? What I know it's been like 4 weeks. We know you haven't beat Tetris 99 yet.
No.
What have you been able to play, if anything?
Well, like most weeks, I've had almost no time to play. But Bri, interesting enough, even before we booked Celia for this episode, there was a nice little sale going on in the eShop. And I picked up Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment. So it was like, what,
70%
$3? And I was like, all right, I'll grab this. And then when I figured out I was having her on, I was like, oh, well, time to suck up. So I popped it in, put some hours into it, and I was like, God damn, it's been a while since I played a Shovel Knight game. And I was like, damn, that quality really is still there, though. And that's from like, what, 2019-ish? Something like that?
So Spectre of Torment was a Nintendo Switch launch title. So it came out in 2017, March 17th, actually.
Oh, wow. All right. Yeah, I was playing through it. I was like, yep, same great graphics, same great music. I was like, doing this with the Joy-Cons is, but I'm the type of guy who just likes to lay on my couch and just play handheld. But besides that, I was like, yeah, this is still a damn fun time.
Thank you.
Jim, what I picked up from that is we know you're bad at most games. It was too tough for you, wasn't it, Jim?
It was not too tough, though. I was a little inebriated, just a bit. I don't know where that would have ever come from. And like early on in the game, they give this like challenge to you where you have to like do this like scaling up thing, and it will like randomly generate a couple different paths. And I just kept trying after like 30 tries. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Okay, as for someone who's also played a lot of Shovel Knight inebriated, I know what you're talking about. And yeah, it can be with I feel like if you were to play one of our campaign titles with a couple beers, I would suggest King of Cards. I may or may not have done that and beaten it. So I suggest it. It's very if you like Wario Land style games, like Wario Land 2.
Okay.
He has a similar kind of attack style to that.
Listen, you gave us the idea one day when we had you on. Instead of just doing this, we're gonna have you play Jim in something.
Okay.
Both drunk, and I can't wait to just commentate the whole time.
I am actually really down. It has to be a Friday or a Saturday because those are the drinking days.
Yes, no, not a problem. We will do that to make this happen. And don't give us a freaking reason. Jesus.
But yeah, Chambers, I think I mentioned to you, so now that I beat Mortal Kombat 1, I'm further in Starfield, and son of a bitch, once again, I'll say spoiler, it's not really a spoiler. Like any Bethesda game, you have many ways you can level up your character, and certain things you should prioritize. Well, I'm just trying to beat the main campaign, and unfortunately, like, I haven't done shit to my, like, ship powers and my ability to pilot stuff, and one of the things I need to do is really get through a major dogfight, and I can't do shit for it. So I'm like, now I have to commit to side missions until I can do that, which that's one thing that's been the only, if I had any complaint, I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, I wish there was a way to bypass it, because that's what I love about a lot of Bethesda games, is that there's always like a side door that you can, like, I'll do it this way, or this, persuasion. No, this is like, I have to fight them in a spaceship, and I'm like, that's the one thing I didn't care about in this game. So other than that, I actually did just watch Five Nights at Freddy's last night, and so of course that got the bug in me. I was like, let me start replaying those games. I realized I don't know when the hell I downloaded all of them. I only played the first two, but I was like, I'm gonna try my hand at that again. So yeah, I'm diving back in. Other than that, it's been a pretty slow week, just like you. Haven't done a ton in gaming, but yeah, no, I'm hoping I'm gonna turn all that around this week. We'll see.
Was the movie good?
I liked it. As someone who is very peripherally, like, I know about Five Nights at Freddy, I know the lore is crazy. I can appreciate that there is, like, so much fan love given in that movie, and Matthew Lillard is always great. It was fine. I wasn't sure. Did either of you see Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage?
No, I did not.
Okay, so that's like the knockoff Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I don't know if I was expecting it to, like, I don't even know if it's PG or whatever, but Celia, to your point, the wife and I were like, let's subscribe to Peacock, watch a whole bunch of movies. It's only like $5 or $6, and I was like, after a month, we'll decide if we want to keep it, but let's watch everything we want that's on that catalog. So that was one of those things. I did like it. I enjoyed it. I also tend to find the good things in movies. Like, I can, like, forgive a lot of bad movies.
Okay.
Like, I won't just shit on a movie. So I had enough entertainment out of it, and I think if you're a fan of the series, you'll find a lot you like about it. And there's some pretty dark shit, like, if you don't know the lore of that game. Okay, so if you do, then yeah, you're like, ew, like it's pretty messed up. But all in all the actors and actresses, they did great. So yeah, I would suggest it if you like that franchise at all.
Okay, really noted. I've yet to play a Five Nights and Freddy game, but my coworkers like sold it to me. Like on Friday, we're all having lunch and they're like telling me about it, and I was like, that's kind of things I like. And then they were gonna see the movie, like I think soon. So I was like, maybe I should play one of them. So I like get it. But I know enough about the franchise just from like osmosis of like Twitter and Reddit that like I get what's going on.
How do you do with jump scares?
I will find out.
Are you gonna do it inebriated?
Probably. There is a 60% chance of wine or beer in my future.
Get a wine, get an almond joy.
I know, man. Dude, live a little wild, a little crazy. Maybe have 2.
Yeah, I
go to urgent care. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kidding.
They're gonna read the try and be like, another one.
They know me by name.
Too many almond joys. No, but yeah, that's kind of like I said. That's my big focus. I know, Jim, you and we are still on track. I did dip my toes in, I think, between the past 2 weeks. I don't know if I mentioned last week. I'm trying the original Bionic Commando again because I want to be prepared for our awesome patron who did request it as a review. Yeah, that game is... I don't know, Celia, have you ever played that, the original Bionic Commando?
No, I thought you were talking about Bionicles, the action figures.
God, I wish.
I know.
Because I was like, you don't sound as stoked. Because I'm like, people that like Bionicles love Bionicles.
I would be very excited if that was the case. Yeah. Bionic Commando on the NES it's a game.
Okay.
Jim, you didn't try it yet, right?
Now, I actually just picked it up today for NES, so
okay.
I'll be recording it legit off the console and putting myself through that hell. I owe you.
But no, we're only doing it because of our awesome patrons
and
Chambers. What questions do we have this week?
Patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. First up, from Kev Called. What is your all-time favorite fast food or restaurant promotion deal? For example, the 555 deal from Domino's. God, 555 was life back in college.
I was going to say, that's
we
probably going to be my answer just because of poker nights, but Celia, what about you?
Okay, so I have 2.
Okay.
One that I like ironically really liked, and then one that like I did do both of them. So my ironic love was when Taco Bell decided to gaslight everyone to thinking that it was a healthy diet menu. When they did the Fresh Fit, the Fresco menu. Remember that? That was
Fresco.
That released in like 2009 to like 2010, and then they never talked about it again.
It was Power Fuel.
It was like, it was something. It was definitely something. And they're like, we took the cheese out now, so it's healthy. Don't ask questions. So I thought that was really funny. And so I would be like, oh, I'm on a diet. My friends were like, what? And I like would go to Taco Bell and come back. And I just thought that was like so fucking funny to say. And I just really like Taco Bell.
Who doesn't?
Still do. It's great. And then the $5 footlong, like just for the amount of sandwich you can get for that, like in college, insane. I think there was a while where like that's the only thing I ate, and it was just I just lived off of them, and it was pretty cool.
What was a go-to? We all have a go-to.
Okay, so it depends. Like if I'm feeling fancy, the meatball marinara with provolone, very good. But then there's also like the Italian one
BMT?
that has like the one that has like everything in it.
The pepperoni, the salami, the Black Forest
ham. Yeah.
That's
so
mine.
That one's good. And then like if I'm feeling simple, the turkey. But I would heavily judge anyone that got tuna fish.
Yeah, tuna fish. Jim, tell me.
Jim, it is a great paste when they open up the package.
Look, when they pull it
add
out
water.
of that plastic bag, I just look at it and my taste buds, they just can't stop.
Jim, as someone who I watched you consume a 7-Eleven rib-flavored meat sandwich.
Ooh, you think the McRib's bad? Ooh, Lord.
You know what? You're fine.
Look, I've lived through like buffet sushi. All right, look, at this point.
Wait, okay, time out. Okay. Was it like a Totosai buffet sushi, or was it? Wait, what state do you guys live in? Hold on, before I judge.
PA. So about as
Judge
far
away.
on the other side of the country from real Japanese food as you can imagine.
Okay, yeah, I judge you. Never mind. Because
Yeah,
like Totosai
judge
was
away.
delicious. It was like this, like all you can eat. Before I discovered like Kura or like anything like that, which is like a revolving sushi chain. But okay,
No, this would be like the same place that would also probably have the classic oiled up green beans and all the other buffet shit. Jim would just, there's
She's
random
sitting here
crab
saying like, is it a
legs.
Kurosai? I'm like, no. These are the
no,
ones
no.
that are called like Grand Super Buffet and shit like that.
Yeah.
oh, awesome, good for you. And
I
you
see.
lived. You did it. You did it, Jim.
I'm unkillable. Look at me. Peak
Wow.
health.
Celia, I just figured out your tell. You don't blink when you're telling a lie.
What?
As you said to Jim, you're like, good for you.
I'm so happy for you. See, I know what you're talking about.
I mean, Jim, you said it, and it was said in the question. I think that 5-5-5 deal to get the goddamn medium with one topping from Domino's, and we would be playing poker all night or whatever we did in college.
Poker, Hero Escape, whatever, N64, whatever dumb shit we'd be doing.
And every one of us would end up getting our own our own pizza as we're drinking. Like that, you cannot beat that. Of course, it made for a terrible feeling the next day, but like the value, that and the $5 footlong, Celia, you said that. I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, like getting that. And I did love the, it was still early internet, I feel like, but the people that would submit the pictures are like, it's not actually a foot, it's 11.5 inches, or like something like bitching
Yeah.
about the size of the bread and shit. But I'm like, yeah, things like that, those were probably the two I can think of the most. But I did like that idea of the fresco, and I'm like trying to think. I've maintained for a long time, as Taco Bell is the healthiest choice, just like I say how Guinness is actually the lowest calorie of a normal beer you can get. And most people don't think that because they think it's like too thick or whatever, but it's like not only lowest calorie, but like the amount of like iron and random like protein or something it offers you, it's actually like the healthy choice. Now, don't anyone out there actually take that advice, but that is something that's out there. So
Everyone
it's only like-
listen to Brian. Healthiest choice.
yeah, you'll
One of the
lose weight
healthy
if you drink
lifestyle.
Guinness. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's like 105 calories for a pint. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, Chambers? What was your go-to?
Well, now Celia reminded me of when even the one-upper, the classic one-upper move, when KFC tried to play itself off as health food, when they're like, we're nothing but protein. You should eat here because we're all protein. And then like a week later, they came out with the double down, and everyone just went, But
I was gonna say I don't remember that one, Jim.
you don't remember that? I think they got sued for it, actually.
I know the double down. I don't remember them ever claiming they were healthy.
No, it was like mid-2000s. They were trying to pull that shit, too. I think
Everyone
it lasted like
was.
6 months, and they got sued like immediately. But as far as favorite promotions, I mean, I guess I got to go. Like, at first I was like, menu item, and going with like when Taco Bell would have like the 7-layer burrito for like $2, and that was back in my stoner days, so that was a goddamn godsend back then. But that's not really a special promotion. I'm hurting here. Brian, do I go with what do you call it? Do I count food truck for fast food? Do I stretch it a little bit?
Nah, those weren't promotions, Jim.
Yeah, that's true.
It has to be national campaigns.
National
Yeah.
campaigns. All right. I mean, I can't go wrong with the 555 either, just for lack of anything better to say.
You know
Like,
what?
I mean, we
I
just
can
had
think of
so many
something,
of them.
Jim. Something that's a national chain. I don't know if I'll call it promotion, but I don't know if you two agree with this. Near my work, there was a Dunkin', and when the Dunkin' app first came out, the amount of free shit you could generate after a very short amount of time, I was like getting free coffees, free sandwiches, I feel like every week I had something free, and then they decided to like, well, that's way too much, so let's cut that in like half, and then all of a sudden it's like spread out more. Like that original, you could abuse the shit out of that system and really just walk away with free stuff all the time.
Oh, dude, every 6 days I'd have a free coffee waiting for me. It was awesome.
Yeah, I love that. So a lot of them did that. Like I remember, same deal. I think it was the Walmart or Target or one of those did a thing where like if you scanned your coupons, you got a percentage of it back. And on a monthly
Walmart.
basis, I was getting $50 to $100 back on just regular shit. And then same deal. They were like, nope, this is a terrible idea. We're losing way too much money. So I like things like that. But you got to get them in the early stages. I'll say that.
Yep.
So,
All right.
love that question.
Next up from Bronson. Brian, speaking of Starfield, if you could build your dream ship, what would it be and why?
My dream ship. See, I'm really bad. Like, even though I love...
Well, you just said you didn't do shit with your ship, so I guess you can't
That's
even
what I'm
answer
saying.
this.
Like I don't have a good answer. Like, I guess if it's anything like my Starfield, I just want something that can hold a bunch of shit ton of cargo, grab jump really far, and not get blown up in the first dogfight I get into. So, I don't know, Jim. You know more about... You're much more into that. I feel like that would be a perfect question for you or Celia, because I'm terrible with that.
Oh, mine would not be
Celia's
economical.
like, nope.
Mine wouldn't be economical at all. It would be just made for dogfights. I'd waste all my goddamn time doing that.
But you're so bad at them.
I'm decent. I'm all right. Asshole.
I mean, you didn't even beat Star Fox on your first try, and I did. Come on.
Let's see. This is the bullshit here. Because when Brian first played it, he was like 27. When I first played it, I was 8.
There's no excuses. You had sharper reflexes back then. I was
Yeah, that
drunk,
sounds like
too.
an excuse, Jim.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a quitter.
But it's my favorite game.
Yeah, I don't know how to... I mean, I appreciate the question. I don't know how to answer it. Like, if you were going to theme it like a starship I've seen in a movie, I mean... I don't even know. Like,
Let me have a dogfight ship that I can shape like the Winnebago from Spaceballs, and I'll be good.
That's great.
I do like that. That's a good answer, Jim.
Hooray, I was due. Next up, Ryan from Burn Retinas. Between me and you, and Celia, we'll throw you in here too. Who's the more ruthless go-kart racer?
I don't know. Celia, have you go-karted much in your life?
I've go-karted once.
Okay.
And not well. I was a passenger, and I just did this. So I would probably lose.
Now,
So,
do you have boardwalks out there?
like, what do you mean, like the pier, or do you mean like racetrack? Like, what do you mean by that?
All right, so on our end of the country, like Atlantic City's like the king, or not Atlantic City, New Jersey's the king for boardwalks. So it'll be a couple miles with all like long piers with assorted shops, strip malls, and then extended piers that'll have all kinds of games, mini theme parks, and like tons of go-kart racing, all kinds of crap like that.
Okay, so not go-karts. That's why I was confused. Like there's the Santa Monica Pier, which has like a Ferris wheel and like a bunch of different like tchotchke kind of shops and like things and carnival games, but not like
no go-karts or stuff like that.
no.
Yeah, Jersey has a lot of those, and there's been a lot more indoor ones that have popped up around me.
Yeah, mine was at golf and stuff, and that doesn't exist anymore over here, I think. So,
but it's something. Yeah, so a lot of those do exist over here, so, like that. Like the whole indoor, like many things you can do. Like the one place we have is like not only an adult go kart, it's a kid go kart, and then axe throwing and something else. So there's like
course.
multiple things. Yeah, you got to combine it all, and there's alcohol there, so it's all good.
oh, even better. Awesome.
Jim, I think you and I in Jersey have go-karted, and I'm
We've done
pretty
it a
sure
few
I spun
times.
you. I think I've spun you a few times, so.
You never spun me. God damn it.
I mean, the inertia wasn't there. I'm just,
It's not like I
there's
got lapped
reasons.
or anything like that. See, there's just a little bit more, drag I have to deal with because of, certain issues.
Understandable.
Some
I will
people
say
like more of these fast food deals than others, so things happen.
I am an aggressive racer and driver, so I'd probably say I would be a little more aggressive on the track. I'll just say
There you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to test this. We'll have to do this again.
Film
Every
it.
time.
We live close to it, Brian. Oh,
Yeah.
man, we need someone to take a video of this shit.
Jim, I'm going to put a go cam on your head so they see that you'll be like, wahoo!
God damn it. Last up from Todd Howard Sucks. It's the post-apocalypse. Would you rather be able to slow down time for 1 minute and you move 500% faster, or be able to fly for 15 minutes at 80 miles per hour? And you can do either of these once per day.
Slow down time. Oh my god.
Wait, you can slow down time for 1 minute?
1 minute, but you move 500% faster.
500% faster of like what I can normally do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can
I would
fly
do
for
that.
15 minutes at 80 miles per hour.
That would hurt.
Yeah. For 15
Okay.
minutes.
Bugs, think of your windshield.
Let's
and that
imagine
is
like
your
Dragon
face.
Ball rules, and you have like an energy shield around you, so you're not dealing with the bugs.
Okay.
Let's make
You're
this
still-
optimal.
But okay, so you're 80 miles an hour for 15 minutes, or 500% faster than, I mean, I don't even know what a normal human runs. 15 miles an hour? Like, I think in a treadmill, like when you set that, is that miles per hour? Like, I'm trying to think, like, what kind of
Yeah,
distance
what's
can
your-
you cover?
Yeah,
What's
a
your
treadmill?
top speed? Have you ever just ran really quickly?
But that's what I mean. No,
like
I
one of those
haven't. Now
things?
I kind of want to
You
do
guys, you guys
that.
should find out what your top speed is. Like, start training and then do it.
Do you know what yours is? Because like,
No, that's weird. Why would I do that? But
I
you
know,
you
but
guys.
that's like I'm trying.
All right,
to
so that's a
think,
yes.
like,
She definitely knows.
She's
I
like,
have asked- Okay, so one of my dumb things I'll ask my friends though is like, "What's your top speed?" So that's just relevant of where I
I
can.
like it.
I've done that bit before. Didn't make it up for you guys. Sorry. But yeah, like I feel like that one, the first option, is the best because like, let's say you're in a scenario that you need to get out of, like I don't know, some crazy shit just happened, a natural disaster. You can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
If you fly 80 miles for 15 minutes, you know what also can do that? Like my car minus the flying part.
Yeah.
And then I also didn't waste my pause time real quick thing. Like, I don't know. I just feel like for 15 minutes of flying, that's not a lot of flying.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I think we had a similar question about superpowers, and I did choose time travel or like something to that effect over flying, just because. I mean, when you say post-apocalyptic, are we talking, you know, a war, zombies, like aliens? Like, what actually happened to cause it? Because that's a big factor too. Because if it's all radiation, I don't want to be flying out there anyway. So, what good is flying if I'm in a bunker?
What
Yeah,
good's running really fast if you're in a bunker too?
No, you pause time.
No.
You can just get
Yeah.
away.
What if
Yeah.
what if someone's like, oh, they're like invading your bunker? You can pause time and then like murk them, and then you're like, thanks for your wallet and resources, dead guy.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can do a lot in a minute.
Oh no, don't get me wrong.
especially
I'm
really
taking
fast.
the stop time thing too, because all I would do is just heinous things and steal and shit like that. So like anytime a hypothetical comes up, it's always for the worst reasons that I take my answer.
Oh yeah,
But
100%.
Damn it, Jim. No, stopping time is by far that is the right answer.
I think we have a consensus: stopping time and Jim steals wallets. Like I feel like we have a group agreement that those two things are facts.
Jim, I still contend that you would be terrible with your time and somehow you'd still fuck it up in the middle of pulling a wallet and it'd be like 59 seconds. You're like, I got it. And then it would unpause and you're like, damn it.
No, in my luck, I'd like start doing it and then like trip and tear my ACL or something like that. Then I'm just sitting there for the next
Time
like,
crunch
5
pain.
minutes.
And like the wallet's on the floor.
He's like 500% of 2 miles per hour. He's like, God damn it.
I'm just convulsing at 500 miles per hour in pain.
Good for you. Love
Good
that.
question, Todd Howard sucks.
That's the luck I have. So once again, thank you to all the patrons for the questions. Really appreciate the support. And if you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes, make sure to check out the links below to all of the different platforms. Give us some likes, some follows, leave some comments and reviews, do all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And speaking of links, Celia, we have to apologize. Please start plugging away where everyone can find you.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it in the near future, I'm at Celia B with 3 E's. Yeah. You can also find me on Instagram at Kosher Gamer. If you want to know more about my work, you can find us as at Yacht Club Games on literally everything. Yay. Branding's very consistent.
I was going to say, as someone who has to deal with that much more, what do you like? Are you ever going to convert to just saying X? Or are you always going to be like, you know, Twitter?
I feel like
She's going to have to,
It's-
but no one else is going to do it.
yeah, like it's kind of one of those things also that like, you know, when you're in school and like a teacher would get married and you're like, I'm still calling you Miss Jones because that's what I'm used to. It's literally that for me. I'm like, I'm still calling it Twitter because when I
Yeah.
started using it, it was Twitter.
That's what it was. Yeah. There will be a generation that literally only knows it as X. And they'll be like, why do you guys keep calling it Twitter?
But I don't care about them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're
Yeah.
like, I don't care, but get goddamn Shovel Knight.
Yeah, but unless you buy Shovel Knight, then I'll definitely care.
Elon's gonna put out a tweet just saying he's playing Shovel Knight, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love X."
Yeah, I'll be like, wow, it's so cool. I have a check mark and everything now. Oh. $8. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Don't worry, we did it for a little while. It's so not worth it.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no. When I was looking at like different like the algorithm boosts of like different engagement posts, it tends to be similar enough where it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
But
similar if
everything's-
anything, and you automatically get put on 10,000 auto block lists, so it's like your reach
Great.
is just going to other people paying for it who aren't going to look at your shit anyway, so it's definitely not worth it for promotion.
Yeah.
Thank you for the inside knowledge. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh, I saw that look. The same look, the no blink.
No, I was serious because
No,
I did want to do it regardless, and now I could be like, yeah, and there's block lists. I didn't even think about that. So I
She's
appreciate
just still
it.
judging me for the sushi. That's what it is.
I forgot about that, but now I am.
And your tuna fish subs.
Oh yeah, that too. Ah, why? Okay, wait,
Ooh,
time out.
Should I combine them and put some buffet sushi on my tuna fish Subway?
And then you die, and it's really weird. Rest in peace. Okay, so on the East Coast, do you guys call it tuna fish or you just call it tuna?
We just say tuna.
You just say
Yeah.
tuna?
We
No
do
one
both.
says-
I think it depends, because my parents were hardcore, like, calling it tuna fish. They never just
Are
say
you-
tuna.
Jim, let's
What?
be honest.
Jim, are
Your
you born and
parents-
raised in Philly and stayed
Yes.
there?
Yep.
Yeah, because my dad's from Philadelphia and he would say tuna fish, and that's where I got it from. But people in California just call it tuna, and I'm just a crazy person because they're like, "Oh, you're saying the same thing because tuna is a fish." So I was just curious.
Brian's
no one
family's
like
those Fugazis from the Northeast. Like, my parents were from South Philly. So.
Jim,
Okay.
your parents were in South Philly, and then they moved to the Northeast. Actually, the more yuppity Northeast from where I was. Everyone says, "Let me get a tuna sub." No one says, "Let me get a tuna fish sub."
Tuna fish sandwich.
Nobody says that. Your
Yes, they do.
mom
You don't
and
say
dad may say that, but let's be honest, Jim. Your mom and dad put Doritos in a secondary dishwasher for your snacks. So that's where. So
Wait, rewind. No, hold on. Wait, go back to that point.
they
Whoa.
had. How many dishwashers did you have, Jim?
We had 2 dishwashers, and neither of them were either hooked up or worked. So they
So
would
what'd you
just
put in
put
'em?
assorted shit, bags of snacks. They would only shop at Sam's Club, so it was all bulk. So we would just be overflowing with snacks and other bull crap we never used and didn't need. And yeah, had to store it somewhere.
So that's really funny because, like, I grew up with a dishwasher. In my house, I have a dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
I am the dishwasher. I use that for storage or it's just empty. I don't.
But you don't use it. But you don't. One of those.
not-
Your
Yeah.
dad's from Philly.
working.
What part of Philly? Shut up, Brian. What part of Philly was your dad from?
I don't know.
Oh, you need to find out. I guarantee it's South Philly. It's going to be a South
Probably.
Philly thing.
I know because he would tell me a lot of stories about going to Jersey and
I mean,
like
yeah, that's a
going
That's
to
a
like.
given for us.
So
Wildwood or some places like that.
I know I'll ask my mom, but like I'll find out for you.
I just want to be clear. Jim and his family should not be the metric for Philly in any capacity. No one, like, tuna fish is one of those things. I'm trying to think, like, yeah, like if you were like, do you want a tuna sandwich or tuna salad? Like, you wouldn't say tuna fish. Jim,
Yeah, you
that's
would.
just-
You would
Or
say
you
tuna
would.
fish salad.
yeah.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense to me.
Thank you.
Shut up. You eat tuna fish from goddamn Subway. So there's your tuna fish.
What? When in
That's
what?
specifically tuna fish.
Yeah, that's tuna fish.
Tuna
But there's like a
related
question
item.
mark at the end. Where's tuna fish?
Can I get
Tuna
a tuna
fish?
fish?
All right, listen. We're nitpicking a lot here. But
Yeah.
Celia, one of the real things, the things that really sparked you coming on to begin with is, do people pick up on the strangest and most goofy goddamn shit to complain about in video games? I'm sure you never hear goofy complaints or see them, but this one has to take the cake, I feel like. Jim,
Speaking of cake,
why-
look at the
why
ass
don't
on
you-
Spider-Man.
why don't you let people know? The video will be playing as we're talking, but yeah, let the people know what this is all about.
Well, Brian, so Spider-Man 2, one of the biggest games of the year. I mean, we're eating good between like Sonic Superstars, Mario Wonder, and Spider-Man 2, all releasing within like 2 weeks of each other, if that. But yeah, there's nitpicks going around, Brian. And the first big one is this guy, Tim, basically saying, I thought I was experiencing deja vu, like a glitch in the Matrix. Lady on the first floor is the exact same NPC as the lady on the third floor. Same room, same lady, same thing.
Throw the game in the trash.
I mean, obviously, it's just a terrible game. How dare you?
We took a PlayStation 5, it was digital, and just went, and just like broke it. And then ate it.
I'll gladly do that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Man. Like...
But, Brian, it doesn't stop there, because there's other complaints out there. Like, Brian, as the resident alcoholics here, we care about a good can. And the physics has to be right. The art has to be right. So in the original Spider-Man, you got a standard round can. Spider-Man 2, Brian, what is this shit, an octagon?
Wasn't that proven false? That, like...
It was.
Yeah, like, that was
it?
debunked. Yeah, someone made that, but, like, the same assholes that were, like, agreeing with Window Guy was like, yeah, I saw it too. It was horrible. I can't believe that these lazy devs gave me an octagon when I specifically wanted a cylinder. And, like, they didn't fucking check it themselves. And obviously, they didn't
Much like
notice.
me.
Oh, no, but you're different. You weren't complaining and you wouldn't notice because that's such an asinine thing that doesn't affect any form of the gameplay whatsoever. So, am I allowed to curse? I've really been doing that a lot. But anyways.
Curse away.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome. Can't wait. Okay, I'll keep on going. But yeah, it's so ridiculous because it's like, I don't know, because we're in this echo chamber where you can look at one thing and point to that thing and be like, wow, did anyone else notice this? Let's all talk about it. It's like, just enjoy the game. There's so many aspects of it that are fun, and there's so many different things about the game that would be like, I don't know, things to point out more about, like, or even valid criticisms. That would be fine. But like, a window, do they not know how games render? No, of course they don't. But you know what I mean? Like, it's your game's save file. If they made every single window in the city be a different functioning room with different things going on, the file you'd have to delete all your games and just download that one and then use cloud. Like, I don't know, man. It's just wild.
I saw that. I saw that comment, and my thought first of all was like, yeah, there's such a naive. You're being so fucking naive that you think it should be different. It could be different. Whatever. Like, for all I care, every single floor could be the same thing. The idea is to give the appearance of you're in New York, and there's the ability to see in there at all. Otherwise, it could be like every other game ever in New York, and it's just blacked out windows.
Yeah.
They went above and beyond to give it a more immersive feel, because you're not really supposed to be looking at Spider-Man. You're supposed to be swinging by fastly and whatever. But then I think, okay, let me play devil's advocate. Is this just a sign of like shit is too good now, that this is the stuff you have to bitch about in a game, that you have to like? There's clearly, I haven't seen anyone actually bitch about story, sound, gameplay, like the things that matter. It's soda cans and fucking windows. So it's like, just like real life, I feel like the shit people find to truly complain about, I'm like, is shit just too good in gaming now that this is where we're at? Like,
do we have a saying? You know how there's like first world problems? Is there like AAA problems? Like,
I think that is.
Like,
I think you just said it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess I think people have gotten spoiled because like one game will do hyper realistic with everything, and then it's like that becomes the standard. But it's like, no, that's the exception. Like.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't have to do that and you're going to still have a great time. Like, I don't know.
My favorite is like, yeah, when they'll show a game and then they'll show like a Forza or a Gran Turismo. They're like, but look at how it looks here. It's like, yeah, but that developer wasn't trying to do that. And that's not what they were going. Like, there's so many levels of like, I hate that argument that you're trying to compare apples to apples. In gaming, everyone feels like once the bar is raised here, everyone must adhere. It's like, that's not how it works.
It's like how everyone compares Breath of the Wild to like, or now I guess Tears of the Kingdom to like every other adventure game, but it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But it's not Breath. You played Forza, but there's no platforming, guys. How dare you? 2 out of 10. I don't know.
I mean, you obviously have the most inside track as someone in the industry, and when you see these things, I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't think of a game, any AAA game that doesn't get bitching like this, like to such a degree.
I do not envy a lot of the marketing and community teams at AAA companies, because that mass general audience, I don't know, it's like anything. Like they'll fixate on one thing, and because it's such a mass general audience, like they'll dogpile, and it's like a lot of people spent a lot of time doing hundreds of hours creating something that they thought was cool. The tons of people made that freaking soda can. It's not just one person. I don't know.
I mean, they could have spent 101 hours to make some different NPCs. I think
you're right.
Base
They're so
Rating
lazy.
4 knows a little more than we would.
It's just wild to me. And I think a lot of consumers do forget that game devs are people too. And the reason that they work in this industry is because they love gaming, because it takes a lot of your life to make a game.
Clearly they say gaming's the largest media industry right now in the world, and they think that everyone who's involved with making the game is making millions and millions of dollars, not thinking the hundreds, if not thousands, of people dedicated to one game at any given time, and they're regular ass people.
If I wanted to be rich, I wouldn't work in gaming. I'd work in, like, I don't know, finance or stocks.
Anything else, yeah.
Anything else.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, someone took the time to be like, you know what, guys, I think what we need is like a little more immersion. Someone came up with this good idea. Let's put people in these buildings.
Yeah.
And this is the bitch you get. I'm like, come on, dude.
Next time, no people in the buildings.
Yeah, it was like, fuck you.
Nice
they're all tinted windows now.
New patch, they're gone.
Yeah,
they can do that. I'm sick,
awesome.
and I would be like, I'd be like, you know what the new DLC is? Anti-DLC. We're taking shit out. No soda cans. You don't get that anymore. You complained. Just kidding. Yep. That's why I don't make those calls.
Now, you know what? It looks like a dick now. Now everyone's drinking dicks. Good luck.
You did it to yourself. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Now, Celia, I'm sure with like doing all the marketing and PR, like you've had to have had some dumb shit slung your way for all these games. What sticks out? Something has to stick out.
I cannot comment. Our community is wonderful. Actually, I'm really thankful that the Shovel Knight community and now the Mina community and Cyber Show community are really great people, and they're kind and they're sweet. I haven't had too much trouble, which is fantastic. But there'll be an outlier who I wouldn't associate with their community that just like heard of our games and be like, we'll say something dumb. And I like to joke, like, can I make that game more expensive for them? Like, how do I make it for one person? Like $20, it's now $40 for you. Just kidding, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But she could. That'd be cool. You could give me that ability.
She's like, just give me the keys to the kingdom for
just one day, and guess what I would do? It'd be for that one person because I'm petty. No, but in general, like I'm so lucky because our fandom is so kind, and they're so nice. Like, I love them.
Well, you use the perfect term, echo chamber. We know Twitter, it's like the 2% loudest are the ones that get the most engagement, and we know that on average it's something like maybe 16% of people even use it, if that, and that's probably stretching it. So you're only going to hear the loudest, and unfortunately when it comes to algorithms, negative shit gets way more views than positive shit. So Of course, like, you point out something negative, it's like, why, this game sucks, and then all of a sudden, boom, this is going to blow up. And to Jim's point, you click on this goddamn link, all it is videos of people like pointing out like, oh man, this one specific building, if you did this one move, you're inside the building. This is horseshit. I'm like, what about the 4,000 other buildings that it doesn't happen in? What, like, there's no thought about that. It's just you want to point to that one thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like,
spoiled.
Man, like, I want the blissful ignorance of, like, that's the toughest thing in your life right now, is you paid for this game that gave you 80 hours of joy, and you found this one bug, and you're like, piece of shit. Like, come on.
PlayStation, gone. No.
Yeah. I'm not doing my 3 months like Celia. Screw this.
Just eat it.
Well, that's why they only get 3 months, Brian. If they did better with the NPCs, might be a full year. You never know.
I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. we've said it many times on the show. It's like, luckily, I don't think most of the people that listen to us are this petty. But if you go really far down, you will see someone that points to the original Super Mario Brothers and says, do you know the clouds are the same model or like little art thing for the bushes, just different colors and swapped up? Like
That's
pointing
cool.
out just every negative. I'm like, yeah, it's called being fucking efficient. Like,
It's not cool. It's bullshit.
No, I've only heard that as like how cool that is because of the limitations that they had for memory and like how much they could fit on a cart. So they had to get really creative with it, and that was like the perfect solution with their design.
Yeah.
So if anyone talks shit, I will fight them.
All right, everyone talk shit on Friday because
Yeah.
this needs to actually happen.
Fight night.
As she's playing Five Nights at Freddy's with her almond joys and her wine.
Yeah, and my swift trip to the urgent care afterward.
After having a tuna fish sandwich at Subway.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I mean, guys, we want to hear from you all. What do you think in the comments below? Should people just stop bitching so much? We know the true answer to this, but I would love someone to really go further as devil's advocate and tell me why they're right or what's a good thing about it. Because I don't know what it is. And
Brian, it gives us content, so I fully embrace people bitching about this stuff more.
Well, Jim, let's continue this people bitching, because what's going on with the PlayStation 5 Slim, Jim?
Well, Brian, we talked about...
I just called you Slim Jim. I just realized that.
First time for everything. But yes, so with the PlayStation 5, so we
She
talked
almost
about
spit up.
No, I
Well, I'll get
laughed,
her.
and I am full of Waterloo.
what do you got? So we talked about it a couple weeks ago. PlayStation 5 coming out with new models, new slim models, smaller, 30% smaller, and there's gonna be a attachable thing for your slim digital version if you want to add a disk drive to it. And looks like it's coming with a catch, because if you want to attach it, you have to have an internet connection so it can be properly paired. And basically the reasoning that people have been hearing, I think maybe PlayStation said it, is to stop third-party, unlicensed, basically peripherals from being connected in that way. And
If there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying, with third party. As a person who used to work in third party, if there's a will, there's a way. Unless it has to do with the BIOS, then there's a more hushed way. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts before I dig into this?
I mean, I guess if you're someone, there's a part of me that almost goes like, if you're someone who's affording a PlayStation 5 Slim in general, and you're getting your disc drive that you're paying, what did we say it was, Jim? It was $70 or something?
yeah, I think it was 70. Even though if you buy the version that isn't the digital version, just straight up, you're only paying $50 more. So it's cheaper to buy it with it already built in. But if you buy the Slim and want to get it later, it's $70.
So you're still paying whatever, for argument's sake, $300.
And a $30 stand. Don't forget that.
And a $30 stand. Internet's the least of your work. I'm sure you have internet if you're purchasing this. I don't see, like, you need internet for goddamn... You can buy a new fridge these days and need internet. Like, I guess I'm at the point where I'm like, when something says it requires internet, I'm not shocked. We've now gone through 2 generations of games where we know CDs are nothing more than like emulation code to say, like, you still need to download the game to your system.
It's a DRM key. That's all it is anymore.
So I kind of go like, are people really shocked about this? Like, I get why PlayStation is doing it. They'll give their reasoning. But I just go, yeah, you need an internet connection for everything. And I saw the concerns of like, well, what happens if down the line what is it called? I'm trying to find the language they use, but basically, like,
maybe it's like if the servers die, or you buy one, super
service
far
goes
down
off,
the line, and you can't pair it. Wouldn't ever
it's
work.
their authentication server. What happens when that goes away, and future generations have it? And to kind of Celia's point, at that point, the people that will be utilizing this, when there's a will, there's a way. Love finds a way, Jim. Life finds a way. So.
So this is uninformed completely, like, obviously. But I feel like this is testing the market. If I was using my hardware background thinking about if I were them, I feel like I'd be testing the market to see for future generations if selling modular digital only consoles where you have to now pay extra for that and it's actually more profitable than just buying it with it in. So there could be that could be something that'd be a new market trend. So I feel like they're really testing it right now since the PS5 has been such an interesting console cycle. So I foresee Xbox doing the same thing if they haven't already. I don't own one. I'll win it one eventually, and then I'll find out.
When you win it, yeah.
But yeah, just interesting.
I was gonna say that's a good transition in a way because this is kind of wrapped together because Xbox just announced that there's maybe someone noticed that there's a new error code and Xbox is basically phasing out non-licensed third-party controllers from being paired to their consoles. So
okay.
Sorry, go on.
So something that I think is it's not general knowledge, but it's if you look at it, you realize there are no licensed wireless controllers on the market right now. The only wireless controllers besides the first party ones are third party. So now they're dipping into the market for that. So I think them making more of an official stance and opening up their partner program for it is a way to put a cap on that market share that they've been just kind of looking the other way on for years. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, because before all third party that were licensed had to be wired, so it wouldn't be in competition with their OEM.
Yeah, and that's been that way since the 360 days
yeah,
too. Like
since the Duke, it's always been like that. So it makes sense, and I think it's cool that though it sucks that they're phasing out third party options. The fact that they are creating a pathway for licensing for that. It's not like they're pulling up the moat and they're later losers. They're creating a path for that, so I think that's cool. I don't know, it just kind of depends, and always the third party there's a way anyway, but I'm glad that they're expanding their program at least.
And they mentioned it the headsets and everything like Razer and Turtle Beach and all those, they have Xbox licenses, so there are third-party peripherals that you can continue to use because they pay for. So to your point, they're giving these companies, whether it be mouse, keyboard, headphones, whatever, whatever it is, you will have an option. It's just the super cheap, what we were used to with every other console. That's not going to be the thing for the future anyway. So
it isn't, because you think about it, for Switch, they always change the IC, so third party has to update that if they want to be available on that. PlayStation's the same thing.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen there's no wireless licensed options for PlayStation either. So yeah, it just they're getting with the times and they're opening it up. I'd be curious to see if PlayStation and Nintendo follow suit in that as well. But I don't think Nintendo will. I think Nintendo will stick to their current licensed partners as in creating availability there.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that the same way you call it first world problems, AAA problems. If you're affording a PlayStation 5 and Xbox, the days of having your old PS2 or whatever and you have a shitty third-party controller, those are gone. If you really want a controller, because you don't need 12 controllers at home because you're not couch co-oping anyway. You're playing online with your friends, so you need really one controller. Yes, everyone would like to have more, but I get it, and I think that's going to be the way of the future. I think that your third-party controllers will be fine with your PC. They'll always be fine there.
But also if you look at for third party, for example, 8-Bit Do, they've been doing licensed products with Xbox for the past couple years recently. And I'm excited to think about the I love their wireless controllers. So I'm I would love for that to be licensed when I eventually win my Xbox and have one.
I love the confidence when I eventually win.
Yeah, eventually it'll happen. I believe in me.
Brian, to your point earlier, you know me, I love weird shit. I love weird shit and I love bad shit.
Oh,
I love going to a Goodwill and finding just some dog shit controller and being what the hell is this? So I think in a lot of ways it takes away the fun of the old Wild West of gaming. But I mean, I get it. We're so far removed from that era too. It's But also to the other point we talked about where it's like, testing the waters, it's like everything that can be slightly anti-consumer, as in like trying to charge a little more for a pure physical option. It's like, oh, we'll try it this way and do a soft launch. And then when no one complains about it enough, then it's like, oop, that's the norm. We all go, oh shit, how'd we get here?
Okay, so with the weirdo controllers, I love the weirdo controllers. I have so many weird Nintendo 64 monstrosities that I'm just like, fuck yeah, you're mine forever. But I feel like the Wild West of that, where there was innovation like that, of like, let's try something different, I feel like in 2023, it doesn't have that space anymore. Like with a lot of things, like for example, like with retail space, you're not going to wander into a Target and find like a weirdo Mad Catz controller anymore. That space, the buyers won't pick that up. So it just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like the times are different. But there are companies that do innovate. Like the company I used to work for, Hyperkin, they still do like interesting and weird. Like they'll do a spin on something as well. But they're listening, like they're leaning into licensing too. So it just got to play ball where you can and then go to where the consumers are buying.
I mean, if you
I just want that monstrosity N64 arcade stick. That's what I want. I want that thing that's like the size of a table.
You want the goofy shit.
It's awful. It barely works, but goddamn, is it fun?
But to your point, it's fun. But in the article that we link, Xbox points out like, we don't want something that's going to fuck up your quality of playing the game. And you can quote like, oh, that's being bullshit. But to your point, Jim, every goofy controller you get, there's always a quirk. The D-pad's a little off. This button's sticky. Oh, the R1 doesn't work. Like, there's always a caveat. Oh, it looks funny. But like, yeah, it actually would diminish if like that was your only way of playing a game. You'd be like, the fuck? Why do all these games suck? Like, there's something off about this.
Also, I can't say the specific details, but I have seen a Alibaba controller brick a Switch before, and that was surprising.
Now a controller.
Yeah, it was. But this was years ago when they were having the third-party IC issue that happened with a few other things as well.
It was a lot of Power Bricks. I knew Power Bricks would destroy
Power Bricks
Switches.
Also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it bricked the Switch, and we were like, oh.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? We have to tell the person who owns that Switch. And so that was a whole thing. Yeah, that was a big oopsie. So I've seen that happen anymore. I haven't seen that modernly happen, but like that's just something that's on the table. I'd be pissed if I paid $15 for a controller and then it ruined my $500 or one console.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you just win consoles anymore. You don't buy it.
Yeah, she's got consoles to spare with all her fucking winnings.
If you really think about it, isn't it like for the enjoyment we have growing up and trying third-party shit, there will be a generation where that's not really a thing. Everything is licensed, and there's a quality control to it, right? Like just like you said, Jim, the Wild West of video games in general. Think about, just go back to Atari NES. Like, anyone could develop games for it and do whatever. Like that, even doing shit like that is getting harder and harder.
Well, yes, is it good? No. Because for games, at least, like any developer, you can make a game on Game Maker, and you can release it on Steam, and you can also work your way and like port it for console. Like there's accessibility that way, but like for hardware, yeah, it's harder.
Yeah, but there's like, even with what you just said, there's like a proving ground, right? Like you look at Steam and oh my God, the games that are available, you're like, why is this even a game? They're not going to make it to console. Like there is almost a proving ground. Like you can't just be some of the games Jim has talked about previously that literally turn into like, okay, that'll never show up on Game Pass or PlayStation or even
That's
Switch.
Different.
Yeah.
Okay. On a subscription service, that's not gonna appear because they would have to pay for that, and like that would put them out of business, man.
Fruits. That's the problem.
I mean, like, I can't talk. Actually, I don't think I can talk about this stuff. Yeah. Your point's really cool.
I don't know if that was a hand on the hip, but I saw the hand go up, and that was also another towel. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, what can I say about this? Yeah, like I don't know. Like I feel like there's a certain level of standard with like getting it on console because obviously it's a lot harder too. So it's not like you can just like, launch it on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like there's some more quality standards to a degree.
Okay.
Like yes, of course you could develop a game and in theory it will function on a console. But like you said, it's the hardware, it's all the stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that good or is that bad? I myself, of course, I have the amount of third-party controllers I have for everything, including even my Xbox One. Like, I'm not gonna go out and pay $50 for a new controller for that. But like, you know, in the future, I don't know. I guess there should be something to help ensure consumers that like, are these controllers sturdy enough, good enough to really last you, or is it guaranteed? Your PlayStation 5 controller at some point is going to die and you're going to need a new one.
I mean, everything breaks always now. We live in 2023.
Well,
our lives are broken. Everything's broken.
I mean, shit, they can't even do multiple NPCs in Spider-Man 2. What kind of
I know, everything's ruined. Let's quit game. Break the PlayStation. Okay.
So what we learned is you two are fine with ruining the time-honored tradition of player 2 getting the shit controller. That's fine.
I mean,
now it's Hellscape Nightmare Future. That's fine.
Now
Jim.
it's player 2 gets the drifting controller.
No. I've heard. We have the evidence shows.
Jim, aside from your Switch, when have you player 2'd on your PS5 ever?
Right. I don't go around people anymore.
I feel like the player 2 for like that would be like who gets the sticky controller. Like it's not like
that's
like
all Jim's
one.
Controllers.
I was waiting for it. See, Brian, you're hurting yourself. You're ruining tons of fun by having your kids fight over the bad controller.
I do that with my old consoles, but it's like showing old bad movies, and it's like showing
they have to learn to appreciate what they have, Brian. It's a learning experience.
Listen, when I give them an old CD player and say this is how you need to listen to music, and it doesn't work, and they gotta realize the CD scratch, it's the same deal. You got to do that with the shitty controllers, but you're not going to do that for new systems. That's just not a thing because, unfortunately, couch co-op, unless you're using probably a Switch or someone pulls out N64 or whatever, how often are you truly couch co-oping? No one's like, let's all couch co-op on our PC here, unless you're streaming it or doing it for a entertainment value.
All right, Brian, I'm making a bet.
Most cases.
I know your son, and he's got the same rage issues that you do. You're going to cave, and you're going to start buying a lot of third-party controllers because you're only going to pay $20 instead of $60. I can see it coming now, and you're going to pray that there are more out there. You'll see.
Make your kid earn their controller initially so they know the pain of getting a new one.
I was going to say, he has his, like, whatever allowance. He has his chores if he gets it done.
There you go.
If he breaks it, I'll say, we got to take it out of your allowance now. And you don't get allowance for this many. That's how I would handle that, Jim.
Yeah.
Same way it was done to me. I would be like, oh, you broke something. There was many months when I didn't have allowances. Yeah, it sucked, but I learned. Don't break shit.
I like how I'm agreeing. I don't have kids, but I'm just agreeing. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a real good option.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Don't feed them tuna subs.
Yeah. Or only tuna subs.
Yeah. Jim.
There's a lot more spaghetti than tuna subs. Tuna fish subs.
Oh, that's a different story.
Don't you say tuna fish. God damn it, Jim. All right, so Celia, I guess something we talked about last time with you. We know you're a big Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
And we've been talking a long time about like what is going to be the next Switch. I have this very conspiracy theory-ish the shit going on with Xbox finally buying or Microsoft buying Activision. I think you're going to end up seeing a Game Pass or some version on the newest Switch, and that you'll see Call of Duty on that in some form or another to kind of combine like the biggest game with the biggest sold console. But out of nowhere, as of yesterday, there was a new patent for a potential Nintendo 4DS. And Jim and I have said, you have the Switch, which combines a perfect world of handheld and at-home consoles. Are you a little shocked to hear that there could be another handheld console aside from this potential, whatever the Switch successor is?
Okay, so just one note. Okay, I'm going to comment on things I feel like I can comment out. And if I say skip, that's because I don't know anything, but like, professionally wise.
Yeah.
But like, Nintendo patents a lot of shit all the time. Like if they have a cool, funky idea, they're like, "Yeah, let's just throw that in there." So I wouldn't look at that and be like, "Oh, it's leaked now. We're sneaky. We found it." Like, no, they're gonna line up their patents right with their announcement, so it goes live, and then they have the go live announcement. Like, that's not gonna get leaked, and if it does, the person's gonna be horribly sued. And so I don't foresee it being found this easily. But if this was a perfect world and that did exist, I love that. I love dedicated handhelds. Like I love Game Boys. Like I brought my 3DS to Japan because I was like, fuck yeah. Didn't bring my Switch. I brought the 3DS because it's compact and I like that it's clamshell. So it covers the screen perfectly. And like my issue with the Switch is like I have a Switch and I have a Switch Lite. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like I don't like to bring them out of the house even though they are portable because I am so clumsy. I drop shit all the time. Like there's something wrong with me. And so I just I drop, I actually fling, I throw, whoops, and then there goes like $400 or whatever. And so it's just kind of one of those things where it's like I would love to have that because it just feels right. I hope Nintendo goes back to handheld gaming.
Now so you basically said you need an OtterBox for your Switch, is what you're saying? Is you need some kind of really protective cover?
Okay. Do you remember the gel? It was like the I have a lanyard somewhere on where it's like the gel lanyard that would go over your Game Boy and you'd put it over your neck and you'd walk around and you'd play and if you dropped it, oh no, it's still on your neck. I wanted that so badly
for the Switch.
For the Switch, and it's just kind of one of those things where like. No third-party creator. Anyone can steal that idea from me. I just want it. Just give me one for free, and that's all I care about. But
I actually don't know how that was never created. Like, in saying that to you, I was joking, but I was like, how have I never seen someone make a third-party, like I said, like the OtterBox for fucking iPhones and Androids and like these indestructible cases. I'm like, I'm the same as you. I am notorious. It's not so much a clumsy issue as I just break shit like. Steel-toe boots are indestructible. Somehow I fucking break. I don't know how I do it, but how have they not done that for the Switch? And to your point, yeah, a 4DS or something, if it's assuming it's clamshell. Now, granted, the picture that we'll be showing right here shows it could be. And I do love your point that we talked about the patent that Nintendo was trying to get for the game mechanics in Tears of the Kingdom. They were like, oh, the way we measured force on the way you moved on certain things should be a patent. I'm like, that's just fucking physics, dude. Like, we did that in school. Like, you can't patent physics.
They'll try.
They'll try, yeah.
Everyone tries. It's like when they try to, like, remember when someone tried patenting, like, on YouTube, React?
I was just about to say that. Those
90% of...
Yep.
Yeah. And, like, that content was like, that's what other people...
That's what everyone does. You're like that. You can't or the asshole will try patenting "Happy Birthday" or the "Happy Birthday" song. Like, yeah. I don't know. I thought about this and I'm like, but with Nintendo, with the bombshell that Switch was, do you think they still would provide a dedicated handheld? Putting aside if you like it, like.
I don't know. Because remember when the Game Boy line was a thing and they released the DS line and they're like, we're expanding to the DS line and we'll never get rid of the Game Boy line. Remember they fucking said that? And then boop, oh no, it's gone after Micro. They're like, okay, later losers. Now you got to buy this one. I don't know. It's just, they will make things where there is a demand and like any other company. And the cool thing about Nintendo, they do embrace innovation. So maybe they've looked at the numbers of things and like the consumer demand, they have the magic numbers of like every game, not just our wonderful games. And they're like, oh, there is actually a market sense for having more of a portable dedicated thing. And I feel like, they did that technically with the Switch Lite. So there possibly could be a not hybrid version of that, but maybe like a step up. And that could be the side thing that they're looking at. I don't know. Only the future will tell, and we'll find out in a direct probably.
Here's my question. So you said they embrace innovation. I always say with every console, there's some kind of gimmick they try to embrace to a degree. And I feel like the Wii U to Switch, that was an obvious. Like, they perfected it. The Wii U, I think, was terrible. The Switch was like, we're going to perfect this shit. Don't you? Because you overpaid for it. Don't stop bitching about it. But what do you think, whatever the next iteration of their home console is? Like, I was thinking about the games they did, and I'm like, I could see, not virtual reality. What is it? The shit they did with the one Mario Kart where it's real life.
AR.
Augmented. Like, I feel like they've done what they can with the physical things you do in your hands with motion controls. I feel like that's one way they would go. Like
Kirby Tilt and Tumble? Like, you're just holding your Game Boy like this?
Yes, shit like that. Like, I feel like they've exhausted that.
Yeah.
Let's move the thing you're holding the peripheral. Now let's move the world around it.
Maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, it's... We'll
and
find
this
out
is
when we find out.
Just as you being probably between me and Jim, you're probably way more, like, appreciate and enjoy Nintendo stuff. I'm just saying, like, spitball an idea. Like, what do you think's a goofy peripheral or something that they would add that you would go, I could see Nintendo doing that?
Okay. It's hard.
Idea.
It's hard since, we're commenting on this on October 30th, 2023. Dating, so, for future.
I should not immediately say like a shovel-based controller. Come on, Celia.
Yeah, no, because then everyone's gonna make shovel games, and then we're not as special. What they're gonna do be like, it's gonna be Shovel Hero, and then we're gonna have to sue them. I don't know, because it's difficult. I feel like Nintendo with glasses would be cool, getting into AR that way. Bringing back 3D with the 3DS, but maybe something different with it, I think would be, if someone was to bring 3D actually back, I feel like it would be Nintendo.
Yeah. Would we actually use it though? Because we didn't really use it the first time either.
But they'll make you. They always do.
They sold like cardboard.
Because the patent for like the 4DS that everyone's talking about, like it's got a screen on the outside of the clamshell when you put it down. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But then I also remember the Switch. They were really touting the push functionality and the touchscreen stuff on the Switch. And it's like, man, they haven't touched that in about 5 years.
Yeah, I forgot that it was a touchscreen.
It's a godsend for entering my password for fucking the eShop. That's about it.
Oops. Yeah, but like, I don't know. But like, whatever it is, it's going to be something very themey. And like, Nintendo loves that shit. And I look forward to the future. Whatever next gen is, like, I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, I said for the shit I do give Nintendo, in a way I feel like they just will forever repackage the same stuff a million times and resell it to you. They do ultimately sell you hardware that's like, okay, they'll push the boundaries. Doesn't always work, but they'll test technologies that others probably wouldn't want to touch initially. So that's why I'm like, I still look at whether this patent is real or not. If like, why would you do a handheld console with the success of the Switch? Like, just keep developing that idea further. Like you said, figure out a way to protect the screen, but still make it portable, make it usable at home. Like, combine all the great things that Nintendo does instead of doing two, because I feel like you're splitting your audience of not everyone that buys a Switch is willing to buy a handheld on top of that. And it's like, then do you have exclusive games still, or is it all on your online service? So there's like a lot of weird, so much to question. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Chambers, what do you think?
I mean, I think she nailed it right at first when and even the article alluded to it. They're like, yeah, Nintendo throws patents at everything. So it probably is just a lot of nothing and just an idea they had, and they want to make sure they lock it down.
Yeah, so no one else does it. Because all these like Switch not copies, but like, there's like, I forgot what it was. It was like a PC version of that. I saw it in Japan. I don't know what it's called. It's on a Steam Deck, because I have a Steam Deck.
There's a shitload of knockoffs. And
here's my question. Wait, I wanted to ask you, how do you like that?
What do you mean? The Steam Deck or copies?
Steam Deck, yeah.
Oh, I think the Steam Deck's cool, but I have like the dev version of it, so it's for like, I played Mina on it, so.
Okay.
It's a work thing. It's not like I'm at home, but I feel like I would use, if it was like a personal one, I would use it for more things.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
Too bad it has that taint on it for you. We look at it and you're like, ugh, work.
I know. Boo, poor me. If only I could log into my Steam account on it. It'd be so.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, but to your point, Brian, I'm more interested just to see whatever it's going to be another shadow drop. It's just going to be an announcement where they're like, oh, by the way, boom, new fucking console. Here we go. So I'm more interested to see if it's going to be the Nintendo cycle where they're going to have a bad idea after having a massive hit. Because that's been basically that way for how many generations now? Good idea, bad idea, good idea, bad idea.
You know what? So, I'm going to say it's going to be a good idea. You know why? Because, like, you know, we're releasing games constantly. So I would love for it to be a good idea. And everyone buys it. And buys Treasure Trove.
Exactly.
And Mina. And...
What, you mean it's better when 150 million people have a platform for you? What?
Yeah, I would love that. How dare you guys?
I mean, Jim, in all fairness, the NES through the N64 was nothing but hits. And even the GameCube, to a degree, like, it wasn't as hit as everything else. But it all went downhill with the Wii U. Let's be honest, Jim. That was their worst mess up.
If you're looking at, like, yeah, so the Wii U, I guess, yeah, if you're looking at console sales, but like the Nintendo 64 in comparison to like other console sales, like didn't do that great either.
No.
It got stomped by the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And the GameCube did even worse.
Yeah, it do that one. It had a handle. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like and like you look at the N64 library and it's a very limited library. Sure, there's iconic hits that shaped how I made my career and like how I've lived my life. But like, you know, it's a very slim library when in comparison to like the other consoles.
Yeah, of course. But to your point, like I feel like they learned with the Wii U, they got the Switch. Now, as we said, like, are you
how will they fuck this up?
Well, it's like, what are they gonna offer as their launch title? That's gonna be the thing that's like sold. Is it another Mario? Is it another Metroid? Is it?
It's got to be Metroid Prime 4.
Well, it's obvious.
They have left.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's going to be updated Tears of the Kingdom with better... I don't know. Like, it can't be a new Zelda game.
You know, it has to be Nintendogs. I'm stating it now. That is going to save the Super Switch 2 Raruni.
Whatever it is.
U.
Super Switch U.
Yeah, Super Switch U. Oh god, that would fucking hurt me for how much I have to write that in copy. Like that would hurt.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
For the what would you say again? The Super Switch
U.
Okay, the Super Switch U family of consoles. Like having to write that out and the 4 Twitter characters I would have left after that. Like
it would drive you crazy.
Okay, what would be worse, saying that or having what you do right now and have to say the Xbox series of consoles because God forbid they have exclusive names and stuff like that?
You know, maybe I should work in a different industry. No, I'm kidding. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Like everyone just keep things simple. I prefer that, please.
Dude, no, Xbox, we've said before, the naming convention. Say what you want about any of them. PlayStation has it down.
Yeah.
PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That you know they'll continue that. Xbox, the fuck are you like 360 to 1 series like
no. Xbox was like fuck you, we're Xbox. And
yeah,
like they all shake hands.
Yeah.
And then they're like figure this one out, Target with your 800 SKUs, like have fun. I don't know.
Well, here's what I can't wait for is the day they do like what movies do and they're like, this is just the Xbox, but it's 2026. Like, just rebranding as the original new, but it'll literally be nothing after the name. It'll be Xbox.
No, wasn't it the Xbox One X where it spells out Xbox basically?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you still technically are saying Xbox One. It's, yes, to your point, it's the same, but I'm like, no, I think there will be a point when they just go back and they're like, you know what? It's just Xbox.
You know what's gonna be? It's not gonna be Xbox. They're gonna pull a fucking HBO Max, and there's gonna be X, and then Twitter and them are gonna get in a lawsuit.
Yes.
And then who buys who? Who's gonna buy?
They just kiss.
No,
I'm kidding.
No one fucking Xbox. Their next one's gonna be called the Xbox 2, and everyone's just gonna flip tables.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope that they like tell media like in interviews that it's really cool. Like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, their project titles like Scarlet when they called it that. Like, that was such a sick fucking name. The
That was a
Xbox,
cool name.
if they
better.
kept it like Triangle Strategy when that was a working title. Remember when that was a working title?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then they're like they kept it because it sounded sick.
Me too.
Dude, if the Xbox Scarlet was like the actual name of it, that would have been like
Would have been really
so
cool. Yeah.
Or like, what do you call it? Wasn't like the Kinect like Project Natal or something like that?
I don't know. I forgot about Connect.
So did
This is
everyone.
by the way, it's the first time I'm realizing you have Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier when we were talking about the
I
games.
love it. Nice. Yeah, here's what I foresee. As since you just said X versus X, it's gonna be Xbox Tesla. It's gonna be XT. That's all it's gonna be.
I don't like that. It's gonna be self-driving. It'll be self-playing.
Exactly.
Ooh, PlayStation's gonna be some petty bitches, and when they have their PlayStation 10, it's gonna be the PlayStation X.
When is it gonna be that Xbox keeps buying shit that's like Xbox? It's just gonna be the XA, Xbox Activision, and it's just gonna be part of their title because they're gonna buy some shit. Jim, they're buying Sega next.
Whatever.
Like no, because they have their conglomerate. But like, I don't know. I feel like Xbox's strategy with purchasing all of those is not to have exclusivity with that, but it's to earn money off other consoles because we're all pretty dedicated of what we're gonna buy, but they're still getting money from
percentage of it. That's why I said they'll never why would they give up this shit with PlayStation? That's why I am completely convinced whatever the next Nintendo console is, you will be able to play Call of Duty on it, thereby increasing sales by the number, whatever you said, Jim, 50 million users.
Yeah, whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah. Can Nintendo actually update their goddamn networks? That's a different question. Who knows?
It's like when Michael Jackson bought the Beatles discography. Like, he had his own stuff he made money off of, but then he could just sit back and make money off all the royalties from that.
I did not realize that was a thing.
That is correct, but also I feel like he had more money than we could ever imagine. I think that was an ego buy. Like, yeah, fuck yeah.
So does Microsoft. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you are right. I don't know. I think it's a little bit different because he didn't have stakeholders.
True. And he was friends with Paul McCartney, and Paul was like, "Oh man, I should really buy this." And Michael Jackson's like, "Oh yeah, that is a good idea." And then the friendship ended.
Jim, he also had a history of questionable decisions. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Anyways, gaming.
So he was like, "Well, time to go."
Oh no. So Celia, we want to say, first of all, thank you so much for hopping on with us. And we will absolutely be taking you up on doing this on a Friday or Saturday where you can drink with us and you whoop Jim's ass in gaming, because I can't wait for that.
Sounds great.
Let's do this.
But once again, please shout out, where can people find you? Where should they subscribe, follow, whatever? Please let them know.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so first off, thank you guys so much for having me. If anyone watching wants to follow my socials, I'm on Twitter or X or whoever buys it next calls it. I'm Celia B with 3 E's. And on Instagram, I'm Kosher Gamer. I haven't posted a while. I'll probably post eventually soon again. Because I miss Instagram. It's been a little bit. And besides that, for any work endeavors, follow us at Yacht Club Games. We're at that on everything. Yay, brand consistency.
Love it. And with that, guys, we want to say thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe and notification bell so you see every time we post something new. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, hit subscribe. You give us a 5-star rating. Even if you want to bash us in the comments, we will read on each and every one of these Power Hour podcasts. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone. Have a happy Halloween, and cheers. These Dunkelsteins are fucking me up.
Cheers,
guys.
everybody.
Woo!